My name's James Wilson. I'm a mussel farmer, also in this fish shop, Menai Seafoods in Port Penrhyn, Bangor. We're essentially, with the mussel business, we cultivate mussels on the seabed in the Menai Strait. We're highly dependent on good water quality here, because the water quality is a central factor to how we're able to trade our mussels. So water quality is a really key issue for us. I think what's happened most over the previous 2 or 3 decades is that what we've seen is this weird kind of evolution and then somewhat of a regression in the way that we've perceived the marine environment and how we use the marine environment. So I think 30 years ago, people were just coming to recognise, develop their ideas around environmental conservation and preservation. And one of the issues that most easily manifested, or one of the ways that most easily manifested, was in water quality. So traditionally, the seas had been used as a dumping ground of sewage companies or water companies, just releasing sewage and all sorts of sanitary items willy-nilly into the environment, despite the fact they weren't supposed to be doing it, but without any kind of process to stop them doing that. Then from, I suppose, 92 to 92, 95 onwards, quite strict European regulation was brought forward, and you saw that behaviour begin to change. Unfortunately, certainly over the last, it changed to a level, and then I think, but once that level was reached, say 10 or so years ago, we had stabilisation, and now, certainly over the last couple of years, what we're seeing is a kind of regression away from that. So we're seeing lots more sewage being dumped out into the water column than we have been for the previous 7 or 8 years. Good to see in the future would be, like a continued improvement of water quality here, rather than the regression that seems to have been happening over the past few years. I mean, I think that we're really happy to participate in the Menai Strait Forum, because I think it does it's shining a light on this issue. Unfortunately for us, this isn't a new issue. This is an issue that we've been dealing with for, I suppose, for the last 30 years in one form or another. The regulation that the European Union had, Water Framework Directive, Marine Strategy Framework Directive, was very strong, and it was encouraging water companies to change their behaviour. I think since Brexit, they've sort of taken their foot off that pedal to some extent. But it won't take a lot, and I think the more that the public is aware of what water companies are doing, the more likely they are not to be able to carry on doing it. I mean, at the end of the day, this isn't something that they should be doing. We're all paying increasing water bills to fund investment, and we have been doing for some time. It's quite depressing when you kind of think back on how much less costly it would have been to fix this issue 20 years ago than it's going to be now. So no, I think that the work that the forum's doing is really interesting to us.